Hi, in today's video we're going to be taking a look at Emacs YouTube sub-extractor and MPV. So what does the YouTube sub-extractor do? It extracts subtitles from a YouTube video and displays them in a buffer. So I'm going to give you a demo of why you want to use this. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across here and grab a video link. And we're now going to switch across to Emacs and we're going to run YouTube sub-extractor extract subs. I'm going to paste in the URL, and what you'll see is it's actually going to download the subtitles and format them in a buffer. So we've got the timestamp on the left and the actual text from the auto-translated subtitles. Great. So what can we use this for? Next, we're going to open mpv.el URL, paste in the same URL, and it's now going to open the video. So just give it a second. So what I'm going to do here is just resize this, if I can remember the flipping keyboard shortcut. There we go. All right. Let me just resize this and move it into place, and I'm going to stick this to be always on top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press J on the keyboard, which is going to activate the automatic subtitles from YouTube, and I'll show you how you set that up in MPV. I covered that in a previous video. So we've got the subtitles enabled now. So what's going to happen is I'm going to play the video, and I can put the cursor on any point here and actually jump to the video. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press capital O on the keyboard, which is going to show the playhead position. So we can see the playhead position up here.
And welcome back. Newcastle have won 3-0 today against the ground now. So thankfully the game is still on.
So what I can do is, having the subtitles here with the timestamps and using MPV, I'm controlling MPV using its RPC interface. And what I can now do is I can now jump to any of these positions by pressing a keyboard shortcut on the time code. So let's see. Right. Okay, here. So there's a goal coming up. So what I can do is actually press a keyboard shortcut, and it's going to jump to this position. So I'll play the video and hit the keyboard shortcut, and it's going to jump to that position.
On the match that got called off, I would have been for you.
Okay, give it a second.
Aye. Very good start.
Okay, there's a good goal coming up, so I'll just leave that.
Oh! It's Shauna again. I told you, when she turns up in big moments.
So we'll just skip back.
Aye. Very good start. Oh!
So as you can see, I can actually search through the video, just like you'd search through any text in Emacs, and jump to that position. So James's, so there's St James's. I spelt it wrong. James's. Just move the cursor here, press the keyboard shortcut, and you'll see that's 30 seconds is now jumped to 30 seconds there. So let's just go through this. So here's Portsmouth. Press the right keyboard shortcut. You can see it's automatically jumping to 1 minute 14. So let's do this with another video just to demo it. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to kill this buffer, and we'll pick another video. Let's go for something else. Let's go for the Newcastle United. So what we've got here is an interview with Eddie Howe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the link, switch across to Emacs, YouTube sub-extractor extract subs. I paste in the URL. Bang, we've now got the transcript with all the timestamps. MPV play URL. Paste in the same URL. Got them full screen. I'm just going to resize this. And for some reason, it's an... Oh, there we go. Help if I use the right keyboard shortcut. I'm going to set that always on top. In GNOME, that's Alt and Space to bring up this menu. I'm now going to press J to activate the key, subtitles. I'm going to press capital O to activate the timestamp. Now I can play the video and I can search through any stuff. So if I want to say search through Man United, so he's preparing for Man United here. What I'm going to do, just press the keyboard shortcut. You can see it's automatically jumped to that section. So I'm not going to play this one just because you never know with copyright and stuff like that. So let's Dubai. So here's second thing on Dubai. That's 5 seconds. We just put the cursor over the timestamp, keyboard shortcut, and you see it's jumped to that position. And you can see the if I just play this
out here in Dubai,
a few days been like out here in Dubai. Let me just move that. Last few days been like out here in Dubai. So you can just come through and search for, okay, we want to say there's something about recruitment here or coaching. So let's search for coaching. So coaching, move the cursor up here. Okay, and you can see it's now jumped to 1 minute 30. So any video that's got auto-translated subs will actually work like this. So let's do another one. Let's do some Rubenstein. Let's do this video here. I want to be a legend about Bruno. Switch to emacs. URL. Give it a second. Downloads the subs. mpv play URL.
Yes, guys.
There we go. And what we'll do is we'll just resize this again. And obviously you wouldn't have to do this if you're actually watching it. This is just for demo purposes. So set it to be always on top. J on the keyboard. Oops. Capital J on the keyboard is my keyboard shortcut. By default, it's J. Capital O to show the timestamps.
Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video.
Okay, so what we want to do is we actually want to search through and find stuff about Bruno. So we want to search through the video and find stuff. Okay, well, Bruno, Gemo-ish. So here's timestamp at 1 minute. Keyboard shortcut, bang, 1 minute.
As well, Bruno Gomes, the main man.
Yep, so there we go. Let's see what we... okay, so here's a bit about Real Madrid. So just Control S, was it? Control S, go to line, Real Madrid. So here's the thing about Real Madrid. Cursor there, bang, jump to that position, 1 minute 54.
Real Madrid were reported.
So what's the point of this? Why would you want to do this? Well, because it makes it really easy to actually search through a video for specific text that is mentioned. So YouTube does have a transcripts box that comes up, which I'll show you in a second, but the issue is you can't really search through it and then jump to a position. So again, with this I can just go Manchester. Okay, talking about Manchester United. Jump to that keyboard, that point here.
Heading into a 3-game week. Manchester United on Sunday.
So this is brilliant because what you can do is search through the automatically generated subtitles or text and then jump to that position in the video. What I can also do is Control C, Control O. And what you can see here is I press Control C, Control O, and what that's done is that's opened the browser with that video to that exact timestamp. So that's 2 minutes 46, 2 minutes 46. Now the thing to note is if I do this again, press Control O, what's going to happen is it's going to open a new tab. Okay, so that's one of the issues, because what it does is in the back end it uses you know, open URL in Emacs, and it's basically every time you click a timestamp and open it in the browser, it's going to open a new tab. What you can do is you can actually set Emacs to use MPV for YouTube links. So whenever you click a link in Emacs that is a YouTube link, it will open in MPV. Now the problem is, even if you do that, what's going to happen is every time you click a new timestamp in this file, it would open a new instance of MPV at that point in the video, rather than seeking to that point in the currently open video. So that's why we're doing it this way. That's why we're using mpv.el with its RPC interface. And what that allows us to do is actually jump to any position in the video. You can also do this with subtitles. You can also do this with a local file as well. So there's two ways you can do this. You can actually have a copy of the local file. So if I had a copy of this locally and I open the YouTube subs like this, and then what you can do is you can run mpv play and open a local file, and then when I clicked any of these links, it would jump to that position in the local file as well. So what we've got is the ability to do this with a local file or a remote URL that is on YouTube. You can also do this with subtitles file. YouTube uses what are called VTT subtitles files, and you can just click on, you can do exactly the same thing with timestamps in any document. So you can actually have a local file and a subtitles file, open the subtitles file with Emacs and jump to any of the timestamps. But the issue is it's not formatted nicely like this is. It will have extra code in and stuff, and it's not laid out in a clean manner like it is here. So how do you get all this set up? So let's come across. So let me just close this. So this is the YouTube sub-extractor. What I did was I actually raised an issue on this package because there's a couple of issues with it that stop it working with MPV. So by default, what happens is if the video is less than an hour, it's actually going to add in the timestamps for just minutes and seconds, and that breaks playback with MPV. So I raised the issue of that, and you know how I sort of changed it, and another couple of things. So what I'm going to do is actually go through how you get this installed, and also how you use it with MPV. So first of all, this is on Melpa, so you can just run, you know, package install YouTube sub-extractor and install it. You also want to install mpv.el. So after you've installed those two, we need to actually do the configuration. So configuration emacs init.el. So this is my tweaks to this. So I've got the package installed. You set require YouTube sub-extractor. Now this next part is important. What we need to do is actually, by default, the timestamps are displayed on the right, and you can't sort of select them. So what we need to do is we set this option left side text, so that what that does is if I just come across and grab another one of these links, into emacs, YouTube sub-extractor, give it the URL. Okay, so as you can see here, what we have is the links on the left. By default, the text, these timestamps are on the right. You've got three options. You've got on the right, on the left, or on the left side text. And this is the option you want. Secu YouTube sub-extractor timestamps left side text. And what this does is it puts them here under your cursor so you can select them. If you don't select this option, you can't actually position the cursor over the timestamp to jump to that position in the video. So that's the first tweak we need to do. So this is my tweaking the package so that it actually works with MPV. So what we've got down here is this section down here that I've commented out, TS substring full-TS if mins only 308. What that does is it chops off the first three characters of the timestamp, which would be the hours, 00 colon. So it chops off the first three characters and only gives you the minutes and seconds. So what we need to do is simply change this to TS substring full-TS if mins only 008, and that gives you the full time string here. Because by default, what the package does is, if the video is under an hour, it's just going to play minutes and seconds, and that confuses the mpv.el package. So that's why we need to have two things here: one, the position of the timestamps, and two, the format of the timestamps set to hours, minutes, and seconds. So that's the first thing we needed to fix. And down here is the second thing here. By default, this is set to switch to buffer other buffer window buffer. And what that does is that opens this transcript or subtitles file in a half window. Sometimes when you're opening a minor mode, stuff will open in a small window like this. So by default, what happens is when you run this program, it's going to open in a tiny little window like this, which is really annoying because you can't see the whole thing. So we want it full screen like this, basically, so we can see all the timestamps, all the text, and actually search through it. So what we do is we switch to buffer other buffer window buffer to pop to buffer same window buffer. That fixes that problem. So that's what we need to do to actually get this working with MPV. Now I've covered my MPV setup before here, so what I'll do is I'll just come up here. So this is mpv.el, and what I've done is I've customized the code so that it works with milliseconds, which it doesn't by default. So what you're going to want to do is actually copy this section of my code so that it actually works to the millisecond bang on the dot. So what this basically does is this also works with a Hydra, which I'll show you. So this is the actual code, and you can see the keyboard shortcut for seeking to a position at point is Control X comma. So whenever I have a video open, and the important thing is you have to open the video using Emacs, because what it does is it starts MPV using its RPC socket interface so that we can control it. So if you just open MPV on the command line, MPV, some video, some URL, and you try and control it using this, it won't work. You either have to use MPV play URL for a remote URL or MPV play for a local URL. So I've got a, let me just show you MPV play. That's going to give me here. So here's a little short video I was making about this. In today's video, we're going to, so this was just a sort of quick test of what I was doing. It would be download a track extractor. This is demoing this here. Now is just as the ritual. Yeah, so this is the same thing I've just been showing you. Press a keyboard shortcut, and it's going to jump to that position in the video. So you have to open the MPV local files or remote files using mpv play or mpv play URL. And once you've done that, you can actually control the video. So what I'll just do is actually open another video and actually show you the MPV Hydra. So videos, OBS, MPV. Okay, here's the Lua fix. This is a video I just did about fixing MPV not playing audio on YouTube videos. So yeah, that's the video I want. And what I need to do is MPV play, video, OBS, MPV, audio fix. What I'm going to do now is, let me just resize this if I can. Oh, why is it being a bugger? Oh, there we go. So I'm going to set this to play and display on top, always on top. And what I can now do is press F2 on the keyboard. Hi, in today's video, hang on. We're going to fix a bug with MPV and yt-dlp, which causes MPV not to play any audio on YouTube videos. Let me just bring this up again. I'll tell you what the issue is. So I can actually control MPV from within emacs. Across here, what we need to do, config, going back and forward, come across in here, and directory watching, and in here. So what I've got here is a Hydra. So what you can see here is I press F2 on the keyboard. Once I've opened a video with MPV using emacs, I can now control emac. I can control MPV when it's not focused, and I'm focused on emacs, so I can seek backwards, forwards, back a frame, quit, take screenshots. I can also insert the current playback position into a buffer, so I can actually jump to a point in the video, insert that playback position into a buffer, which I can then use later on to actually trim the video. So that's the MPV Hydra. So, and this is all the code for basically changing the org timer so that it uses milliseconds, so that we can actually seek to an exact millisecond in a video using mpv.el. So this is the code I actually knocked up and did a video about earlier on that I'll put links to. So these are all the sort of functions for the Hydra. And here's the actual Hydra. So that's how you get everything set up. And it's pretty awesome. So let me see if there's anything else I could demo. Again, you have a let me just knock up a quick test. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put in some timestamps. Okay, so I'm just going to put in some timestamps to show you that you've just got a local file. So just imagine this as a subtitles file. Okay, 1 minute. So what you can do is, the way you would do this is, suppose you've got a local file with subtitles in it. What you can do is you can just open the subtitles file and then the video, and actually use the subtitles file to jump to that point in the video. So let me just open another video, mpv play, OBS, video, OBS, mpv, YouTube sub. So this is another video I just did about how you enable auto-generated subs in MPV for YouTube links. Just why these things are so difficult to. Oh, okay, there we go. Right, so let me set that to display on top. Okay, and what you'll see here is I can press the keyboard shortcut Control X, comma, and it's jumped to the beginning. If I come to here to 1 minute, you can see it's 1 minute. So what I can do on the keyboard, if you press O on the keyboard, it will briefly show you the current playhead position on the on-screen display, but you can see it disappeared quickly. So if you press capital O, the OSD will stay displayed. And now if I come across here and do Control X, comma, you'll see it's jumped to 2 minutes, 1 minute, the beginning of the video. So you've got a couple of ways of using this. You could also, if you've got a copy of the YouTube video locally, as I said, you can use a YouTube sub-extractor to bring up the transcript and open that file and jump to those playhead positions. But I just wanted to show you that you can also do this just from a subtitles file. But subtitles files are filled with other information and formatting, which isn't as easy to go through. So, quick recap. YouTube sub-extractor, then we want emacs mpv.el. Okay. So mpv.el available on Melper emacs package install mpv. Those two things you need to do: package install mpv and YouTube sub-extractor. Again, once you've done that, you need to actually go through and actually add that configuration to emacs. So again, I just come down here. This is what we did for the sub-extractor. Acquire YouTube sub-extractor. YouTube sub-extractor timestamps left side text. Then we got this code down here, and we needed to change this line down here from if mins only be 0 to 00. And finally, at the bottom, the other thing we needed to do was change it from switch to buffer, other buffer, window buff to pop to buffer, same window buff. Once we do that, we get the transcript coming up full screen. And again, what you need to do is add the MPV code. What I'll also show you now is my MPV config. So what we've got here is this is the config mpv input.conf, and what that does is that is controlling the keyboard shortcuts that you use with MPV. And what I do is I set Vim key bindings for seeking. So L seeks forward 5, H back 5, K forward 60, and J minus 60. By default, J and K are for cycling the subtitles file. So what I've done is I've actually changed them to capital J and capital K. So when you open the video, you just press J or capital J and it will activate the subtitles. The next thing we need to do, which I covered in the previous video, is actually enabling the subtitles. So I'm just going to go through two quick fixes here for MPV. First of all, how you set the subtitles, and I did a little video on this. Basically, open your mpv.conf, add sub-auto equals fuzzy. Then we add YT raw options, sub language, English, write subs, write auto subs. And finally, what you need to do is set the font. So sub font equals, and what you want to do is Noto color emoji. And the reason for that is you want a font that actually supports emojis. And the reason for that is that a lot of YouTube links, YouTube titles rather, use emojis in them. Even though the emoji isn't actually displayed in the subtitle, it will fail. The subtitles will fail to play if you use a font that doesn't support emojis with a YouTube link that has got an emoji in the title. So set the font to Noto color emoji. So that's what you need to do. Now I'm also going to, you also want to show milliseconds in the on-screen display, and you do that using OSD fractions. The other thing I wanted to cover was there's currently a bug with MPV that causes YouTube videos to be played without any audio. And let me just come across here. I did a video about this, but I just want to show you. Okay, MPV. MPV, audio fix. Okay, so this is what you need to do to get MPV playing audio properly. There's currently a bug, and basically the fix is to use a Lua script, which is compatible with the latest version of yt-dlp. And this fix means you don't have to update MPV or do anything. This fix is supposed to be released in a new version of MPV, but that hasn't been released as yet. So what you need to do, you create a scripts directory, make directory -p config MPV scripts. You download the Lua scripts like this, and then in your mpv.config you use no-yt-dl. What that will do is it actually it doesn't disable yt-dlp. What it does is it forces it to use the new Lua script, which is compatible with the latest version of yt-dlp. So if I come across here, what I've got is I've uncommented my yt-dlp format and just set no yt-dlp. And once you do that, the video will play with audio. So I'll just show you that working. So if I uncomment this and just comment this back out, and let me just grab a video from, let's do the Magpie channel. So I'm just going to grab the link here. I'm going to play it, and you'll see that by default it's going to play without any audio.
Yeah.
Oh, it's working for some reason. Not sure why. It shouldn't do. But basically, maybe I just got lucky and picked one that actually works. But let me just try that again with one I know was causing issues. Okay, here you go. See, no audio. Right. So uncomment that, and what we've got in our scripts directory, we've got the Lua, the yt-dl_hook.lua file. So we've just set no-yt-dl in our config. Play the video.
And welcome back.
There we go. Got audio. So I did show you a script that I knocked up a while ago on the day this bug first came out, -ffmpeg-i, and I was using this as a temporary fix.
Hey guys.
It's actually displaying on another on another screen, but rather than doing that, you can just actually fix MPV to use the Lua script, which will fix the issue. So that was just some yt-dlp MPV issues that you can fix. Now the other thing I wanted to mention is that would be really nice is to have synchronized cursor, to synchronize the cursor to the playback of the video. So what I mean by that is when we're playing the video, it would be nice to have the cursor move along the timestamps as the video is playing. So let me just grab a link and show you what I mean. Come across here, YouTube extractor URL. Give it a second. Okay, we got that. mpv play URL. Pasting the link. The other thing would be nice. It'd be nice to have a function, to create a function to combine these two steps into one thing. So rather than pasting in the URL twice, you just did it once. So at the moment, you've got to run YouTube extractor, paste in the URL, then run mpv play, and then paste in the URL. It'd be nice to have a function that combine those two steps, so just paste in the URL once, but it's not too much of an issue. So I'm just going to open this up.
Hey guys, and
okay, I'm going to enable the subs, timestamp, and I'm just going to resize this video, stick it on top. Okay, so what I mean is, as the video is playing,
welcome back.
As the video is playing here, okay, you see the cursor position doesn't move. What would be really nice is to have the ability to synchronize the cursor position in the timestamps so that it's the same position as in the video. Okay, so that's one issue with this, is that as you're playing the video, this isn't going to advance. Now, the reason I mention this is because there is a package by Sashi Chua called Subbed, which is actually for editing subtitles. And it works the same way. It works with mpv.el, so that you can open a subtitles file, and actually, when you're over the timestamps, it will synchronize to mpv, so that when you're editing the timestamps or going through the subtitles, the playhead is synced to the position of mpv. So if we come down here, mpv integration optional, where is it? There's a section down here. Right, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's these ones here. Subbed toggle sync point to player. Some of these ones down here. And basically, having a read through this, it looks like this package, which is mainly geared towards editing subtitles, does actually sync the cursor position to the position in the video. So my emacs Lisp isn't great, so I couldn't actually having a quick look through here. I couldn't actually see if we got subbed mpv, which is, I'm guessing, the file that's being used. We got all this stuff in here that looks like it actually works with the RPC socket and synchronizes the cursor position to the position in the video. So that is possible to do. So I don't know if it's possible to actually kind of grab some of this code and get it to work with the YouTube sub-extractor, so that we can have synchronized position of cursor with mpv. So it does look like that's possible. And again, this is mainly a package for editing subtitles, which is why I didn't go with this one. And as you can see here, this is the format of an I think this is an SRT subtitle down here. Yeah, you can see SRT. And what you'll see is the way that it's formatted. You've got like a start time and an end time, and then you've kind of got the text. So as you can see, it's not as nice to actually sort of search through, because you've got all this extra stuff. And VTT subs are even, I wouldn't say worse, but they have even more stuff in. They have sort of like brackets and lots of other stuff, which doesn't make it as easy to actually go through the video. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on this sub package as well, which is excellent, but it's more geared towards actually editing subtitles, so that you can actually jump to sort of the position here, edit the subtitles as you go along. I believe that Sasha uses this to do subtitles for emacs conferences. So this is an absolutely awesome package. I haven't really used it because I don't really use subtitles, so I haven't really got into that. But yeah, it looks like there's code in there that will actually synchronize the emacs with mpv. So these were the issues that I raised on the YouTube sub-extractor package. That basically, by default, what happens is, I said, it removes the hours from videos that are under an hour long, and these were sort of the actual sort of fixes that I found I needed to actually sort of come across. And the other thing I wanted to mention again was the other advantages of this is you can easily use this to create links to specific points in a video. So here's another Adam P video, and he's talking about a travel lodge. He slept in like a really bad hotel on a away trip. So what I want to do here is YouTube sub-extractor. I'm going to put in the URL. Okay, so I want to search for something like hotel. Going to stay in the worst and best hotel in Coventry. So suppose, sorry, bring that back up. Right, we'll jump to that line there. So I've got the cursor over this point here. So if I press Control-C, Control-O, what it's going to do is it's going to open the browser to this position here in the video, and you can see we've actually got the timestamp. We've got the URL and then and time equals 57.s. So what this is also useful for is actually going through a video, searching for stuff, then you can just open the link and it's going to give you that link to that exact point in the video. So, you know, if you wanted to share, you know, particular bits of the video, it's easy to do so.
So I'm going to stay in the worst and the best hotel in Coventry.
So you can see there, I'm going to stay in the worst and best hotel in Coventry. I think that let me just come through. So this is where he's going on about reviews. So what I can do is I can just press Control-C, Control-O, and as you see, what happens is it will open a new tab. So this is one of the issues that I just want to make you aware of. If you do this in the browser, you can't really play the video and then jump to a new timestamp, because every time you do that, what it's going to do is it's going to open a new tab to that timestamp rather than seeking to that position in the company open video. What I also mentioned was you can also, you see this code down here. This is how you can define MPV to be activated and play YouTube URLs. So basically, anytime you've got a YouTube link in like an org document or something in Emacs, and you press Control-C, Control-O, it will actually open the video with MPV. But the problem is every time you click a new timestamp, it's going to open a new instance of MPV, as opposed to actually seeking to that position in the currently opened video. So that's why we want to use mpv.el together with YouTube sub-extractor, because then basically what we've got is this. So again, here's the video. So we did YouTube extractor, then we just do mpv play URL. So there's two. mpv play URL plays a video from a URL. mpv play plays a video from your local file system. And what it does is it actually activates the mpv JSON socket, RPC socket rather, and then allows you to control the video using emacs. And again, you can't open a video, you have to open the video from within emacs. If you just do it on the command line, it's not going to work because it's not going to, you won't have activated the socket to actually control it. So mpv play URL, paste in the URL, give it a second or two.
Hey.
Just resize this again, so just resize that. Oh, you fucker. Yeah, you want to be a... Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's just resize this a bit so you can actually see. Oh, seriously. Okay. And in GNOME, what you do is you press Alt Space, brings up this menu, come down, go always on top. And again, activate the keyboard, the subtitles by pressing J, in my case capital J, and then you press capital O to show the on-screen display. Once you've got that set up, we can now actually jump to this position. So pimp, so there we go. He's saying that this hotel was just like infested with pimps, basically. So if I just press Control X comma, you can see this is now actually jumped to that.
Pimps.
People, druggies, prostitute, pimps. Not great. So he's staying in the worst hotel possible in Coventry. So what we can do is we just play this. We can just come through and actually...
Not a great start, is it? 1 star. Corridors smell of weed. The walls are so thin, you can hear everything.
Okay, so we can just actually just come through, jump through here, and give it a second or two, and it's going to jump to that position.
Oh, by the way, Britannia hotels have actually been rated the worst hotel chain in the UK for the 9th year.
I can just come through and I can actually just jump through.
What does that even mean? Enough of me talking about the...
So the advantage of this is you can just come through and you can actually just search. So so we just search for a hotel. You can see we've got all the timestamps here. Okay, so we just got this bit here. And we can press, we can start this again. We can also use the Hydra. So if I press F2,
hotel, I mean, it's...
I can now control MPV.
Lovely.
Yeah, I can take a screenshot, bang, screenshot. I can show the OSD, it's already activated. But yeah, basically when the cursor is over any of these positions, so we've got 6 minutes, 21, we just want to jump back to 6 minutes. Bang, jump back to 6 minutes, give it a second.
Supposed to be £49, I'm going to put you in this room instead. Just,
so just
be honest and tell me why I
jump
haven't got the room. Just don't BS me with this maintenance issues.
Kettle, so something about a kettle.
Of course, we've got the kettle as you normally do, the little coffee mugs. Down here, this is a fan, by the way. I thought it was...
So here, give it a second or two.
Where it's mouldy, any signs where it's actually disgusting.
So the one issue is you're not going to get playback as quickly with a remote URL as a local URL. And I'll show you my MPV config briefly again, because there are some settings you can make for videos to make them jump about a bit quicker. But basically what you can do is if you had a copy of this video locally, instead of running mpv play URL, you just run mpv play the local file, and you can still jump, and you can use this transcript to jump around through it. And again, you can also use subtitles, but this is just really nicely formatted. So yeah, this is great because what it means is you can actually just search through a video. So if I actually come across here, what you'll find is you click across here and go show transcript, you can see here we've got the actual transcript. So you can actually see the same sort of thing on YouTube, but you can toggle the timestamps, but you can't search through it, can you? I mean, you know, you could try like, you know, searching through the page or something like that, you know, to actually kind of jump through, but you don't have the same flexibility that you've actually got with emacs. So that's using YouTube sub-extractor with mpv.el, so that you can actually easily, you know, just come through. So here's something on TripAdvisor, just jump to that point, bang, give it a second.
On TripAdvisor.
TripAdvisor, yeah. So the advantage of this is, as I say, you can actually search through videos really easily through the automatically generated subtitles, and actually jump to any position in the video you want. You can also actually just copy these timestamps. So I can actually just come across and copy these timestamps. If I open a new buffer, we've got the timestamp there. So this also is really useful, because what you can do is you can go through a video, create all you know, all the timestamps, you know, start an endpoint, and actually trim the video. So that's another use for it. So that's pretty much everything. Let me just see if there was one thing I set in my yeah, that's it. If you set cache equals no, it will actually sometimes improve playback on internet streams. So what you can do in MPV is you can create different profiles, and this is the default profile that I'm using. What it does is, when you have caching enabled, it will, you know, it caches the file. You can see how much has been loaded. But the issue is sometimes on some kind of streams, it will actually stall, specifically on M3U or MPD links, which are segmented chunks of a video. It can actually stall and not it will stop playing and not cache anymore, basically. So setting cache equals no will actually fix that issue and let you sort of jump around much quicker in a video. But obviously, if you've got a local copy, it's much better. So that's the skinny on YouTube Extractor and using it with MPV, and changes you need to make to get it to work, and why you want to do that. Again, this is actually a read only, so you can't actually edit this, but obviously you can just, you know what I mean, you can just copy this. So if I just want to copy this, you can see this is actually a read only buffer by default, but you know, you can just copy all that text, you know what I mean, paste it in something else. What happens by default is it will actually create a, if I run it again, if I run MPV, just a local file, and yeah, bugger, play, desktop. Okay, what I'm just going to do is stop that and run let's temp again, and what you'll see is a this here mpv dash da 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 da, that's the MPV socket. So what it does is it creates a socket in temp for the RPC interface that you can use to control it. You can also use things like SOCAT with MPV, but I just wanted to show you where the sort of socket sort of works. And I believe that you can't do this on Windows because it doesn't have sockets and stuff like that. So if you're on Linux, Unix or Mac, you're good, but on Windows, I think you're out of luck. So I'll put links to this under the video, but I think this is a great addition. It makes it really easy to actually search through videos really quickly and find time points that you're interested in. You can then, open those links to YouTube and get the exact point in the YouTube video. You can copy the timestamps so that you can chop the video up, or copy some of the text or whatever. I think it's pretty awesome. But as I said, a couple of things that would be nice to actually fix was, one, it would be nice, instead of having to type YouTube extractor and then mpv play URL, it'd be nice to combine those into a single function so that you could just paste in the URL once. And the second thing would be really nice to have synchronized cursor with the playhead position in MPV. And again, I believe that is possible. Having a look at Sasachura's subbed package, which I'd also recommend having a look at if you do a lot of work with subtitles, because it's awesome. And I said there's actually a demo of this on YouTube as well. I'm sure she's got a demo of this on YouTube. Let me check. Emacs subbed. Where was it? God, my spelling. She's got it under. Okay, yeah, this is it. Editing subtitles and tinkering with stream notes. So this is 11 minutes, and this is about an hour or something.
Should I be reading questions out loud so that
I just
the video
is a second? But this is actually editing the subtitles, and you can actually jump to sort of various positions in the video and actually edit the subtitles. So that's really really cool. And as I said, I don't know if it's going to be possible to sort of repurpose some of these code and integrate it with YouTube sub-extractor so that you've got synchronized cursor and position in the video. That's all for now, and I'll put links to all this under the video.